So, hi, I'm Rick Chen, and I'm the Director of Product Innovation for the SolidWorks brand. Well, last year we launched the augmented reality on the iOS device, and one of the cool things about it is it allows you to do. A lot of people found that design review meetings were a great application for it.
Yeah.
Problem is, more than half of design review meetings include somebody that's in a different location than some of the people that participate, and that's just kind of the way design is done today. And so we kind of came up with the idea, well, what if we actually built in remote meeting capabilities into eDrawings with the augmented reality? So think of the intersection between GoToMeeting, augmented reality, and engineering. And so what we're working on is this prototype. We've made no commitments yet on when we would release it, or even if we were actually going to build a product. So I'm here at World demonstrating it to kind of get feedback so we can kind of determine whether or not there's enough interest to make this a viable product. And so my hope is that, in the not too distant future, we can actually build a beta version of this and get it out there for some testing.
Nice. Can we see it?
Absolutely.
All right.
Last year we had augmented reality added to iOS. And, the reason why we did it is it's great that you can see the model on this screen, but you can't tell how big the design is until you go into augmented reality. Right now I can see that part brought into the real world. If I do something like, it's okay if I take this water bottle, your hand, or let's put a water bottle there, you can now see exactly, how big or small that particular design is. But what we realized is people want or need to do design review meetings with people in multiple locations. And so what we've done, put this down for a second, is 8134, is we've created this meeting capability as a prototype. We're not releasing it yet as a product, but we're here to kind of like test out its validity. So 81 and the level of interest people might have in this type of capability. So what I've done is I'm starting another session of eDrawings meetings on this other iPad. Right, and so now, can you see the screen? No, can you see both screens? Oh, you're on the camera. There you go. Right, so now, anything I do on one screen, right, I can see on the other, including things like cross-section, right? This is something, again, we had in the other version of eDrawings, but here I have a plane that's parallel to my iPad. So as I move it around, I'm cutting through the model, and you can see it on all the other iPads that are connected to the meeting. Right? I can freeze the background so that I don't have to hold the model up. Again, we had the iPad up. Again, we had this capability, but now what I can do is I can share that background with the other meeting participants. So let's say that, I see something weird in my particular setting, and I want to share it with you. Okay. So now what it's going to do is it's going to take my background and download it to your device. So now you can see exactly what I'm looking at in my setting on the other side of the country. And again, it's not a static image, right? We can both actually still interact with it. You can go ahead and use two fingers to drag the model around. And again, you're moving it around on my screen as well. So stop that real quick. Go ahead and okay. The other thing we've done is, actually have the model here as a rapid prototype. Right, but what I can do is let's create a meeting note. And so now I have the ability to, let's see, I can draw some stuff here, right? Put some arrows in for flow. Oh, but let's actually come over here. Fingers just, there we go. And I can click on the note. So now we can look at, not only look at, but actually work on the same node together. So now, if you want, you can actually draw something on there. Right, and then turn it off. And so then I'll see it on my device. But the great reason you'd want to create meeting notes in the context of an augmented reality session is I can actually point at things, in both the real world and the virtual world. So I'd say something like, depth. Right, I'll create this note. ask about the depth of this pocket and maybe the depth, the same pocket on the virtual model. And again, you see it there. We can create multiple notes within the meeting session, and then I can obviously share it with all the participants. But it's a great way to graphically interact with one another, again, in this real world context using augmented reality. So that's the prototype in a nutshell.
A production of EBD Media.